Okay, so far we on this book, Buddha and His Teaching. So actually we did go through all the parts of the Buddha's life story, and now we are on the important part. So I think karma I will not do it because karma you can find lots of articles and information on karma. So since we have some requests about meditation, so that's why I go for meditation. So let's see. For this book on the meditation, you will be on the on chapter 42, 489. All right. So we will not read because there are many points here. But let's say if somebody asks you to read books, so how do you get the important point from the book, right? All right. So let's look at this title, right? So for example, the first thing that when you read, especially come to the Pali words, try to look for the definition. For example, Brahma vihara. Now you look for the text with the Brahma vihara and try to find how did the author describe. All right, so you can find the point here. So I already copied to my notes. So if you have this book, you should highlight here because that means that it explains, give the definition about what is Brahma vihara, which is translated as modes of sublime conduct, sublime states, or divine abodes. I think this is quite nice here, right? So, and then you compare with our notes that we already have this information on the right. So we already have this physical abode. So here, or as it say, you can also use the term he used the word divine abode, right? So that's important. So if we are talking Brahma Vihara, we need to know the definition from the Pali. How do you explain? How do I understand in English? Okay. And then look for some more, right? And also another Pali term. That's why sometimes it's good, especially we are studying the Tipitaka. So and go as near to the Tipitaka with the Pali text. Look for another term. This is called apamanya, illimitables. All right. Because it's so called because no barrier or limit should be extended towards all beings without exception. So this is also important. So I'll copy, I put here already. So beside this Brahma Vihara, another terms that you should know is this one. Okay. Kind of like talking about no limit because should be extend toward all beings. So that means that this four Brahma Vihara should be practiced to all beings without limit. Okay. Now, then it go for metta, karuna, mudita, upekha. Now, when you can see this book, 1, 2, how many pages? Okay, so let's look at this book. For example, it starts from the about metta. So 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, 5, 6, okay, 6, 7, about 8. Okay, so now you have 8 pages, all right? And it's actually impossible for you just copy all the notes. Even you write an exam, nobody can write 8 pages. So what to do? How to get the main point? The main point is always look for the first paragraph, okay? Because any good book, they should give you the very important information on the first paragraph. So the definition about metta, Sanskrit metri. So remember in we recite the 10 parami, we had this metri. Okay, so which is soften one's heart. Sincere wish for the welfare and genuine happiness for all beings without exception. Explain as a friendly disposition for a genuine friend. Because this metta is also very near to another Pali word, friend, mitta, all right? So that's why I try to explain from the terms of mitta. And this is also important because this is the advice of the Buddha. How should you bless this, the metta, just like a mother towards her only child. So that's how the love of the mother. Because if the mother have 5 children, she might not love them equally. She might love one better or one less. But if she has only one child, she will definitely love her child with all her mind and heart. All right, so this is another important point. So I'll copy here. So I kind of like making notes for you all. So in case next time you want to read, or for those who are sitting for exam, so this is an important point to take notes of. Okay, now since we had 8 pages, it's also, as I said, impossible for you to finish 8 pages. So okay, now you go through. There are so many here. Okay, then it's also important to look for the opposite side. We call it another antithesis. Is anger, evil, hatred, right? So this is also important point. Because from here we can make a table. According to this book, I think some of you might know. When you study the meta, you can study with the direct enemy and indirect enemy. So for example, meta, direct enemy is hatred, anger, as mentioned in the book just now. Indirect enemy is a personal attachment. I will come to this later, right? So it's talking about direct enemy, indirect enemy. So let's go back to the book. So this talking about this is a direct enemy because meta is love. So the direct one will be anger, evil, hatred, and aversion. So when you explain what is meta, meta means no anger, no evil, no hatred, no aversion. So this is also an important point. Now, another one is look for characteristic. All right, what is the characteristic of meta? What's the meaning of characteristic? Characteristic means that something that people can see. Let's say it's somebody with meta, somebody who has meta. How can we see his meta? It's by his attitude, right? The benevolent means like in Chinese we call it 慈祥,慈爱. So we can see his attitude there. So this is also important. So I will copy it again under the meta. So this is talking about characteristic. Okay. So first you have the definition of meta. And this is like the Buddha say how to practice. And what is we call it the characteristic, right? So but this then it give a very good idea about what is meta already. Right. Okay. So from the 8 pages, you can take out important points like this. And all these, like, I think you all know 11 benefits of metta. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So normally when any monks or nun, they give Dhamma talk, they always talk about 11 types of benefits of metta, right? So then the power of metta. So all these are story. Now, how to practice the metta? So in this book, it gives good idea. I think you all know. First, you should practice to oneself, to yourself. Okay. So in doing so, he changed his mind and body with positive thoughts of peace and happiness. You should think about how he can be peaceful, happy, free from suffering, worry, and anger. He then becomes the embodiment of loving kindness. So after that, when he is full of peace, then what he do is he should make himself happy before he try to make others happy. After that, he tried to relate it to a near one, dear one, individually, collectively, wishing them peace and happiness, freedom from suffering, disease, and worry. Then, after that, to the relatives, friends, then to neutral. Right? Neutral means those he neither like and dislike. So just as he wishes for the peace and happiness of himself and of his near and dear ones, even so he sincerely wishes for the peace and happiness of those who are neutral to him, wishing them freedom from suffering, disease, worry, anger. Right? Right. After that will be to those who which he doesn't like. All right. But after that, another practice of metta is that he can gradually extend. Right. So means that from instead of like we call it the individual one, he kind of like radiate to all beings. Okay, it's like until he merged himself with the whole universe and one with all. Right. So from this book, you can get some good points here. Okay, so here, so let's talk about practice of metta. I think because it will be easier for you all. And then, okay, so let's focus on metta first. So practice in brief, contemplation of loving kindness, goodwill, or universal benevolence to all beings, wishing may all beings be happy, right? Now, when you practice metta, okay, what you can do is visualize the person or the face. Either these 4 ways, I think is like you all know the chanting of metta. So either 4 or 1 way. But for first, you have to practice to yourself first, all right? You need to practice to yourself first. Why you need to practice to yourself? Because if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. So either you recite like this, but it's too worldly, too very worthy to let it recite like this. So simply just have the idea of may I be well and happy. Okay. After that, when you are successful, then you should radiate to the 4 person. First is the loved one. Okay, then is the dear one, respected one, then neutral one, and then love, dislike, enemy, and person. Okay, so that's how we call it. This is kind of like individual. So up to here we are talking about this kind of like we call it the based on the individual or based on the we call it the limit one. So you limit to a person, limit to yourself and others. Okay, so come here, we can talk about 1 point here. Right now you can see me. All right, so we are talking about radiating love to yourself. Okay, and try to see your face. Can you all see me? I will stop sharing for a while. Okay. All right. Now, just have a discussion here. If you cannot radiate to yourself loving kindness, do you think that you can practice loving kindness to others? That's first thing. And second thing is, if you cannot visualize your own face for whatever reason, can you practice loving kindness to yourself? Okay, so now we open for discussion. Anybody want to say something? Any meditator here? Anybody practice metta before? Okay, Doris, Chi or Ong, Sister Ong.
Hi, Sayaji. Good afternoon. Yeah,
Can you
need
turn
to...
on your video? Yeah.
Oh, turn on video. Okay.
Yeah. Because if not, ours is like sound only, no video.
Okay.
So, okay. So now the discussion: can you practice loving kindness to others without radiate love to yourself?
We need to create love for ourselves first. Otherwise, we are not able to sincerely radiate our loving kindness or metta to the others.
Okay. So one of the technique, as I mentioned just now, is visualize your own face. So can you do it? I mean, have you tried?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see your face, is it the face you are having now, or is it the younger version of yourself? Or what kind of face you are seeing?
During meditation,
yes.
We're just sending a metta to ourselves, radiating the metta to oneself, meaning like, they say the four
ways,
states, and then to the 12 categories of unspecified and specified. That means 5 unspecified and self-specified
Okay,
categories.
we talk about radiating loving kindness to yourself. So at that time, so do you try to see your face, or how do you do it? I mean, how do you do it?
Uh, I don't really see my own face per se, but
Face,
it's
yeah.
the
Whole idea.
Sorry.
Whole idea. You take yourself as a idea, you know,
Yes.
idea
Not
that there's
only
a
the
being, just a
yes,
present. We call it the present
yes,
of
the
yourself.
present.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, not really need to focus on your face, right? But
I
you know
didn't
that you are radiating love to yourself, right? Okay, that's
because
correct, you know. Yeah.
because when it radiate itself, radiating not only the face as you mentioned, but including the internal organs. That means each and every part of our
Oh,
body.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
So you
overall.
okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, good. How about any other those who try this method before? Anybody? Beside, oh, how about Sumeda? Sumeda always like to talk. Sumeda, it's time for you to share. Come to meditation, everybody is keep quiet now. Do you notice that? Why? Because you are shy to talk about your own experience, is it? Right? Yeah. Okay. Now the idea of metta, like the Buddha said, the love of mother to only child, only, even the stress the word only. Okay, it's like if you have 5 child, like if you have 5 finger, the love will not be equal. You know, it's very difficult for mother to love because they might love the younger one, because the younger one is the one that most foolish at that time, not mature yet, right? Or in Myanmar culture, I so surprised. I heard they love the eldest one because eldest one is the firstborn, so they love the firstborn first. And I think in Chinese culture, more love the youngest one. Anyway, if they are only one child, male or female, so the love will be very strong and concentrated. Even like in the Tipitaka, it says the love of mother. How about father? Like some of you, I think Brother Carl, you have your child. So how about the love of father? Is it same with the mother or not same? Okay, now Brother Carl, yeah, around, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what do you feel? If you're talking about mother's love, how about father's love? And can you turn on your video? Yeah. So.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yes.
Coming from probably coming from a lay person life lah, worldly life. I noticed that between mother and father, I mean as a father, right? So the what they call the relationship or the treatment towards the children is the mother will be more, they express more lah, okay? They pay more attention towards the children, whereas as father, we are not so much paying attention. We do pay attention, but we are looking at some sort of like probably like on the macro side, so or you look at the whole thing side as a whole lah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And when
so you don't focus on small detail, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's different between man and woman. That's the difference between here. You know.
Yeah.
Like
That's right.
you see longer vision, and then the wife may be in charge of house thing, right? Including the children,
and we
right?
are not
Traditionally.
that emotional.
Emotional.
We are not emotional towards, but for the mother, whatever the children do, right? So it's very there's a strong attachment towards the children. They care more, but they also have more emotion towards the children, right?
Okay.
Whether good or bad, they will express more.
So let's say for your children, do you think they are closer to your wife, to the mother, or closer to you, your children?
For my children, they will be more open to me because I don't exert any like expectation on them.
Okay.
So
So they feel more relaxed.
but they don't feel, probably they don't feel stressed lah. At least they don't feel pressure, something like that. But for the mother's side, because of the love, right? Actually, it's due to love also lah. But then, from love arises expectation.
Okay.
That's the situation lah.
Okay. So later we will talk about direct enemy, indirect enemy. You heard about this, right? For metta.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But actually,
Ong,
Sajid, I have one question I was wondering, because I'm not a meditator, right? You said when we
you are so near to the Buddhist center, Subang Jaya, right? And you tell us you're not meditator.
I actually
you go there to help.
Hardly go there to listen to Dharma talk nowadays. Because concentrate too much on Pali already. So my question is when you say relate metta to oneself, so I was even to other self. Let's say, like actually, I let's say when even to another party in front of the person, let's say if I say to the person, may you be well and happy, that's a relating metta to the person lah. But if you ask the person, how do you feel? Probably you say, I don't feel anything. Right. So I was wondering, how does the power of the metta really can help affect the other person?
Okay.
Even to oneself lah. When you say, may I be happy? I don't feel anything. That's a question.
Okay. So just now, Kate Bin, sister Ong Kate Bin, you want to say something?
Yes, I do. Okay. Just add on to what Brother Kao mentioned. For the culture of here, basically in Penang, just talking generally in Penang, for the older generation, they will be more prone to son, the male.
Son, okay.
Compared to the daughters. You can see, like, for instance, the older generation, they will have more love, in other words, more love towards the son as compared to the daughter. But for us here as a practitioner, we have to be impartial. That means towards the family, as well as to relatives, as well even to direct and indirect enemies. Is that what we are supposed to do? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's more on the upekha. That's why the 4 Brahma, vihara, you have to practice from the metta, karuna, mudita, finally reach the upekha. Upekha is difficult. That's why upekha can be samatha and also vipassana. So last time I did some comparison study, right? So today, this morning, I was having a look again. So later, if you got time, we can look at the comparison study. I think it's interesting if we learn this way. Analysis is good. It increase our discussion and increase our understanding. Okay, so we come back to this question on the brother Carl. So the first thing is, how do you feel the metta? Okay, so actually I learned a lot from my teacher, as I say, Sayadaw Dr. Sunanda. I actually very blessed to have a very good teacher. He was my first teacher on, you can say, on metta and vipassana. Or I have another teacher on vipassana. He was the second one. And also, after he passed away, I learned a lot from Sayaji Agawati. The first thing that, if you really feel how you feel metta, is smile. I see her, she just look at people, she had a very big eyes, right? She look at people direct into the eyes and just smile. Brother Gao, do you get the message?
What you are saying is like
eye contact. Eye contact. Eye contact. And then you radiate the smile. When somebody smile, the other person will smile, right?
Yes.
So remember you told me that your wife told you that what? You don't smile, right? Right or no? So if you don't smile and you say, may you be very happy, so how do people feel your loving kindness, right? So basically, you just have to smile. And then, like, she's a kind of like, I think she told me her horoscope is kind of like Leo or something like that. Leo is kind of like lion. She can be very brave one. She can look at those with mental problem and just smile at them. I'm not so courageous like her. Okay, basically, the first thing that if you really want to test your metta, just we call it lock the eyes. Have the eye contact directly and just smile. And you don't even need to say, may you be very happy, whatever. They can feel it, If you really have very friendly attitude, they can feel it. Okay. Take for instance, okay, we just give a very common example. I think you will not encounter it much in Malaysia, but here we have a lot of stray dogs. Really, sometimes when like today she go for her seminar and she had tumpang car, so I had to send her there and then come back. There are two dogs, two wild dogs. Really, it's a neighbor dog, but they are very unfriendly. So I have to carry an umbrella just in case they want to bite people. They might bite people, because in Myanmar, a lot of people being bitten by dogs, rabies. They have to go direct to hospital to be injured, to be injected with the anti-rabies. So for the dog, which I actually practice. So when you go through the like maybe 3 dogs or 4 dogs, what kind of attitude should you have? I mean, we are not talking about human level, we are talking about animal level. So are you going to say, may you be very happy? Do you think the dogs will understand your language? Yes or no?
I think probably like Saji do lah. You just stand there and smile at the dog.
But the dog will not look at your face. I mean, dogs are not like human. Human tend to look at human face, right? Dog will
Yes.
not do much unless it's because we have few dogs here, so we know those intelligent dogs, they will look at your face. But normal stray dogs will never look at your face. Okay. So when you pass, like I tried a few rounds, last time I also go to another center called Tabawa. We pass the street with 10 dogs. I mean, it's no kidding, really with 10 dogs, no? It's stray dogs. The center is a center is actually with 3,000 people. Refuge camp lah, because they accept everybody and all the stray dogs there. And when after my Dharma talk, I go to the street and really 10 dogs are walking around. So it's really, so at that time, if to liaise with animal, you need to make sweet voice, because the animal hear the sound, right? Especially the dog. So if you smile, the dog will never look at your face. But it depends on your body attitude, And then also, so when I pass the dogs, and then Sayajit tell me, you need to make some good noise, like, oh, okay, you're nice, you're like when we pass the pushy cat, it's like, oh, hello, nice pushy cat, you're so cute, you're so like your voice is friendly. The moment the dogs hear your voice friendly, they also lower down their what instinct want to bite you, In Myanmar, it's really we call it a real Dharma practice, because I encounter lots of situations I never encountered in Myanmar. It's true with the dogs, with the cats, with the driver also. Okay, so we animals, you need to have a good attitude. The moment you walk, if you're going to have a like very threatening stick, and then you walk very in a manner, then the dog will basically very angry with you, because the signal you give that you want to hit them. All right. So when I passing, like this morning, I passing by, so I carry my umbrella in case they want to bite me, but I be careful of my attitude also. Need to radiate metta, but also need to take care of ourselves. This is talking about animal level. But for human, basically, you just look at their eyes and just smile. But the cow, you should practice more smile, right? Okay. Next time you go to any Buddhist center, you try this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Saji.
Okay. So I also noticed that when I go to Theravada Center and Mahayana Center, it's very big difference. In Singapore, because Singapore I'm more Mahayana temple, so when I go there, I notice a lot of people, anytime they see Sifu, they just bow down, very courteously bow down, and they smile, and then they put the hand, they say, hey, Sifu, Sifu. They are so happy. But in Theravada, it's very different. People look at you because they're all practice Vipassana. They don't smile much, right? Yeah, but I think nowadays already, I think situation in Theravada, they learn to be having more metta. So those who are practicing Vipassana also more soft in their mind. Because I've been to few Vipassana center in Malaysia, so I noticed that a lot of yogi, a lot of even staff, their face is very stiff, their manners are very unfriendly, compared to if I go to Mahayana temple. The difference is how they practice the metta. Okay. Yeah, okay. Basically, just look at each other, look at their eyes, and just smile or say hello, good morning, right? Yeah, something like that. In Singapore, Singapore is actually a very civilized society. The moment you go to lift, the person, the doors in the lift, they will ask you which floor you want to go. They will press the button for you, and after that, they will say thank you. In Singapore, you notice people say thank you all the time, right? Okay. So anyway, we come back to topic. The first thing about metta is practicing love to yourself. And how do you know you have love towards yourself? which actually when I was in Lunas, I did ask this question. I said, how many of you love yourself? And how many of you don't love yourself? Got one lady, she lifted her hand. Those who never love themselves will never progress meditation. Do you know why? Do you know why? What's the reason they never progress meditation if they don't love themselves?
Because their thought is not calm, their thought are not
Good, right?
wholesome.
True. One thing, their mind is unwholesome. That's why they have more anger. You know, if you cannot love yourself, how can you progress? Your mind is not calm. Your mind is not peaceful. Whatever you do, there's a lot of negativity, and even people are doing good towards you, you also not appreciate the goodness. You also look down or criticize. So those people will never progress. We call it the hindrances are very strong. Evil is very strong. So it's true. After 10 days retreat, you can see her face. Normally, after 10 days retreat, you have a good food, good environment, the helping teacher guiding you, listen to Dhamma talk. Your face should be very happy, right or not? But after 10 days, I look at her face, it's same from the first day. Other meditators, their face full of joy, they are hee hee ha ha, very happy, except her. Yeah. So I actually it's very sad. A lot of vipassana meditator they didn't progress properly because nowadays when you practice vipassana, you also have to practice metta because vipassana emphasize more on wisdom. Metta emphasize more on loving kindness. So we got love and compassion, right? Love and compassion, compassion and wisdom, all right? This kind of idea should go hand in hand. For example, I would say I love myself. So I'm doing what I enjoy. Like actually I like teaching. It's very enjoyable, like chit chat with you all. Because of teaching, then I have to study or read in advance a few days before or this morning also. So I like teaching, share my knowledge. So I'm enjoying what I do. And I love myself. That's why I like to study PhD. Why? Because in a proper system like university, institution like university, I can progress faster. I got teacher to help me, you know or teacher to push me, give me stress also. Okay, so the first idea about metta is love yourself. Okay, so you don't need actually all this like may I be well and happy, may I become all these just words because words they give thoughts, then it give to right view. But even without the words, just the idea of I need to be kind to myself. All right, simply the word kind, you need to kind yourself. After that, you radiate the kindness to how many? To your loved one, the expected one. Okay. Some they say should not radiate metta to the very loved one in case it turn to a sensual desire. But actually not really. It depends on your way of radiating the metta. Okay. So from the loved one, after that, go for neutral one. Neutral one means that those who not associate with you, like the neighbor you are not very friendly with, you know. Then after that, to the enemy. To the enemy is difficult. I think you all know the deal already. Okay, to love, then to myself, to the loved one, to the neutral one. After that, to the enemy. The enemy is very difficult to do because the moment you think about the enemy, you get more angry. So all your love disappear. But all this is impermanence, impermanence. Because the moment, one thing to we call it to eradicate the hatred towards the enemy who had done lots of harm towards you is understand the impermanence, or you see the impermanence happen to them. Okay. So take from my the example, my mother. My mother last time in my family is a big house, so we stay my father, mother, and us stay in one room, and we have an uncle auntie stay in another room. So the uncle auntie, especially the auntie, is very rude towards my mother. So my mother, the moment she think about that thing is happened already 50 years ago, she will get so upset, get so angry with that auntie. The auntie is very cruel. One time got the cat steal the fish. She just pour the hot water, very hot water on the cat. And the cat got scared. So very cruel mind. So and then I think before she passed away, she was having stroke, cannot walk. cannot talk because her bad karma. Okay, so after that, when she already at this stage, then my mother, the hatred towards her disappeared, because the person is no more healthy person, it's very sick person. Okay, so I can see the hatred of my mother towards the person, it just disappeared when we call it the impermanence happen by itself. Okay, so that's how we reduce the hatred, by recalling the impermanence or death of the situation. All right, so now you're all clear, right? So all this meta we call it we bounded or we limit, because all this you radiate to individual, right? One person, to myself, to the loved one, to the neutral one, to the enemy. So after that, another type we call it is boundless. You heard about boundless compassion, boundless love, where you radiate from yourself, you spread out the love to your family, after that to your loved one, to those deities in the house, or all beings in the house, then you radiate to the neighborhood, to the city, and then to the country, and radiate out further, further, further. So we call it this kind of thing, we call it spreading the love until, like just now the text, you feel one with the universe. But if you can feel one with the universe, I will say that at that time you reach the jhana stage already. So the mind is very high already. Okay. So if no question, I'll go back to the text. All right.
Sayagyi, on here, may I ask a question, please?
Yes.
When you radiate the loving kindness, we're radiating to 528 directions. Is that correct? I mean, sorry, 28 ways,
5
which
to
is
8.
the 10,
Five. Yeah,
5 to
5
8,
to 8,
10
yes.
direction.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That one is a theory, you know, but here I heard one chanting done by one Sayadaw. I think you heard about Sayadaw Dr. Nandamala. He's a
Yes.
pro-rector of my university. He did a chanting in Burmese about 5 to 8, right? So where they recite like in 10 direction, one direction to one group of being with 4 ways. So one by one, one by one, one by one. So it's actually take 2 hours, I think, to radiate thoroughly in 5 to 8 way. But all these create lots of thoughts. You know, for example, if you just even like the simple text, may I be well, may I be free from harm, may I be free from mental anger, all these are texts. This text sometimes is not good because it creates lots of vitaka. Vitaka means thoughts. And too much thoughts, your mind cannot calm down. Basically, metta means just a kind of very, I would say, a kind feeling towards yourself. If you can radiate a kind or radiate love towards yourself, and then you can feel in that kind of, well, you can think it like energy or whatever, just feel that kind of good energy in your whole body and mind, then you radiate out, right? And if you can visualize yourself, you can try. But I think sometimes it's not easy for people to see their face, right? So seeing your own face may be difficult unless you're somebody who are very vain, you look at yourself in the mirror whole day. Okay, so the best way is after that you radiate to your loved one, you know, for example, you all have son and daughter, it's very easy to see their face and radiate to them, or your mother, your father, and those who pass away. Okay, then after that to your neighbor. Today, this morning, we are living in kampung place. This sometimes, you know, we have dogs, but the dogs doesn't like the food here. The dog that don't like the food here, so the dogs go to the neighbor place where they rear the chicken. So they go and eat the chicken. So the neighbor come, want to quarrel with us. So a lot of this kind of situation. So all these are Sayagyi dog agawa. Her job, not my job. All right, so I will go back to text just now. All right.
Sayagyi, Melinda
Yes.
here. Would like to ask Sayagyi whether we can radiate metta to opposite sex.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it okay?
Do you have son and daughter?
Yes. So
Okay.
I understand from
so
a
your son
friend,
and daughter is also opposite. Yeah.
opposite sex can.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
only we talk about those we call it those young one, you know, those fall in love, you know, they are still at that age. So the moment they radiate to their boyfriend or whatever, so then their mind instead of metta, we call it change to raga. Metta is positive, good, wholesome. Change it to raga, greed, lust is unwholesome. So in that case, you need to be careful. For those young one, I think for like our age, we are quite old already. Already gone beyond all this love and like and dislike. Okay, but also one thing about I previously also got one devotee. Okay, her husband having cancer. All right, so she asked me this question: can she radiate love to her husband who was sick? Okay, and she said according she heard the monks or the text say cannot radiate to the opposite sex. Then she said she practiced her husband. It doesn't feel anything. It just feel love towards him, just a kind of like compassion because she was sick, having a cancer, 3rd stage or 4th stage. He passed away already. Okay, so actually all this to do with the mind, the thoughts. So if you can control your thoughts, it doesn't matter you're ready to other opposite sex or those beautiful one, they will not be greed, raga. All right. Okay, so I'll come back to my text. Okay, so you can visualize the face, or maybe we very difficult or feel the present, all right? Okay. All these are text only, or just a simple thought. May I be well? May I be happy? Okay, normally we rate it in 4 ways: myself, loved one, respected person, neutral person, love, dislike, enemy. Then the second way, so we call it all these are with limitation. So this is then you spread out to myself, then you spread out to human, deva, in the house. Then this is number 3 is quite sad. 4 to the neighborhood, then to district, city, country. It means that you're spreading out. Then all the way you can go up. Think about the thoughts going up to the deva. Then you go down to the willful states. Then across direction, whole universe. All right. So just when we say whole universe, just a kind of like thoughts, metta, spreading out as far as you can think about it. So this is called spreading out metta. So, or if you want to do according to metta chanting, so you need to think about the what? East, north, south, southeast, northwest, northeast, southwest, below, and above. All right. So when you chant the Pali, yeah, I think you know the like Pachima, whatever. You chant the Pali and you recite it accordingly. But sometimes it create also too much thoughts, So the best is just think about it. All right. I think this is easier compared to this 10 direction. Just think about one thought towards upward, another one towards downward, another one towards close. So this will cover the whole universe instead of this 10 direction. All right. So now let's finish on a metta. So we just talk about karuna, right? So let's go back to the text just now. Now, always choose the first paragraph because it's the most important. Look for definition. What is karuna? Which makes the heart good quiver. Right? Why? Because if you look at the words karuna, for those if you're interested, Pari. So karuna, the root is kar, okay? Kar. So it has the meaning of karoti. So makes or do. So when you have compassion, your mind want to do something. All right. So compared to metta, metta also you want to do something, but karuna is kind of like your mind really require. Another word is like shaken, So that's another root for this karuna. They call it kam. Means shake, to shake. Kampati. So that's how they describe the karuna. So what's the meaning of kampati? So basically, when you have this compassion, your mind is really, you feel that your mind is like really quivering, like moving. You feel that you want to do something, right? For example, when you see the baby falling sick, or the dogs and cat, they are very unreal. They are not happy, right? So you also define which makes the heart quiver, and you want to dissipates the suffering others. So the chief characteristic, this is also important. How do you know you have karuna? Okay, you want to remove, all right, remove the suffering. Okay. So I tell you, I'll share with you some of the story or some of the encounter I have here. You know, in here, I think in Malaysia also, sometimes when you have so much wild animal, wild dog, do you know what happened? How do they clear the dog? Do you know? I mean, now you all are mature adult. How do they remove the dogs if there are so many wild dogs?
You shoot.
Shoot
Spay,
and
spay the dog. Neuter.
neuter,
Spay. Yeah.
spray. But if there are too many dogs, what they do? If of course, if before the pregnant dog, before the female dog become pregnant, they can neuter is the best. But what if there are too many wild dogs and people compare their small like the stray dogs? Basically, either just shoot the dogs. No, that is too kind. I mean, really, sometimes they just give poison. I saw few case here. They give poison to the dogs. Really, they give the meat, and then the meat they put the poison. So when the dog eat the poison meat, do you know how they pass away? I saw, in my university, the dog is really quivering, shaking, the body is shaking non-stop, and then the saliva come out, and it looked very suffering, very suffering, because before they pass away. So at that time, I also feel, I really feel compassion. I really feel that what just now, they feel the mind very quivering, want to do something for the dog. Okay, but I'm not a doctor. I also don't know what to do. I'm in a foreign place. I can speak some Burmese, but I don't know who to encounter, who to ask for help. So you can feel that kind of compassion. So the characteristic of compassion is you want to do something. Okay, your heart really shaken. All right, that's why they say Guan Yin Pusa. Characteristic of Guan Yin Pusa. Even in Myanmar also, we got this Guan Yin Pusa. They call it medal. It's a like kind of like it's same like in a May is mother, Do is like royal mother. It's like same like Guan Yin Pusa. In all the society you go, whether in Chinese, in Myanmar, they also have that kind of characteristic, like a kind of God who want to remove the suffering of others. So he also have the goodness of mercy. All right, yeah. So you can see in Mahayana and Theravada, so far goodness of mercy is much more popular. Even in Myanmar also we have kind of like goodness of mercy. Why? Because of characteristic, because the compassion in them. All right, which is can be seen and really move the heart of others also. Okay, so all right, so now mudita. Okay, mudita is very easy. All right, so mudita means, all right, sometimes they translate with the word sympathetic or appreciative joy, right? But this sympathetic might not be a very good meaning, because sympathetic means that your mind feels sad, but actually it is good. Appreciate this joy. Sometimes they have another word, they call it altruistic. Okay, altruistic joy, right? So the direct enemy is the jealousy, right? So basically, I copy from the book also. Okay, you are happy that people, in other means that when people get something, you are happy. All right. All right. So it tend to eliminate the dislike and this one. Okay. So we go for deep. All right. So compassion finish already. So you can see, if you like just now, look for the first and the last paragraph, okay, about compassion. Now mudita also, look for the first paragraph. This is the definition. Any book should start with definition, all right? Oh, and I copy the last paragraph. So first and last paragraph should be important, right? I think basically you all know about the mudita already. So it's very easy. That means that you rejoice. instead of get jealous, right? So later I will discuss about this direct enemy and indirect enemy. Okay, next one, upeka. Okay, I copy from the first paragraph already. So it's the most difficult and most essential, right? So discerning rightly. So you can see the terms here. Etymological means the definition according to the grammar and also according to history. So it actually coming from the word upa and ika, right? So this why discerning rightly, view justly, looking impartially without attachment, aversion, without favor or disfavor. And there are so many texts here. Okay, and then the last two, all right? So this is important. Direct enemy is raga. Indirect enemy means causelessness or indifferent. Okay. Okay, so now. Okay, let's go for this. It's good to do. I think most of you maybe count this paragraph. What is direct and indirect enemy? Okay. So sometimes when you have hatred or anger, which is called direct enemy of metta, because when you cannot practice metta because you have hatred or anger, or if you have hatred anger, you want to reduce it, you should practice the metta. I think this one people understand. It's quite really can see it's opposite, very opposite. But what is indirect enemy? Indirect enemy means personal attachment, because your loving kindness will change to personal attachment. That's why when somebody loves you too much, it also problem. You feel burdened because of the attachment towards you. You don't feel so free, you know. So it's called indirect enemy. Do you all understand this point? So it's like the mother really loves the child. The mother or father have metta, but mother father also very attached to their son and daughter. So this is called indirect enemy. It's an enemy, but it's not so obvious. Maybe instead of indirect, we use the word obvious. Maybe hidden. Okay. Now,
Saji, I think they use the word called near enemy.
near enemy.
I think the Abhidhamma use near enemy.
Okay, near enemy. Okay. All right. Yeah. Because your attachment, your love can change to attachment. So also compassion. Compassion is good. The direct enemy is cruelty. So when somebody has cruelty, they don't have karuna. But this karuna also change to this one. All right. So for example, when you see some, like just now you see some sick animal, like what I said just now, or somebody falls sick, or their father, mother, or their spouse, then you feel very domanassa. You feel very grief. Your mind is not happy, very unhappy mind. All right. Joy is easy. Joy is opposite is all this jealousy or dislike. Joy means happy. The mind is joyful. But when the joy has too much, it changes to kind of like this means excited, too much excitement. I think exhilaration. Okay, too much means that here your mind is happy, but here you come to like the Pali word hasa. Hasa is laugh. It's like laughing too much or excited too much. All right. I think it is very normal for all the worldly beings. All right. And upeka. All right. So the opposite one, because of the somebody will not have upeka when they have clinging and aversion. So this will cause a restlessness. And opposite will be causeless, how to pronounce it? Callousness and indifferent. Equanimity and this one is very different. This one is when you understand the working of karma, or when you practice vipassana, your mind is very equanimous because you see the arising and passing away. But when you have this indifferent means that you don't care in the first place. Okay, can you see the difference between this and this?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right. So here we can see, for example, you understand about karma, working of karma. And when you practice the insight meditation vipassana, you see the arising and passing away. So you know all beings subject to their own karma, you know things will pass, will change. But this one means is don't care, all right? Or don't care attitude in the first place. Means that don't want to be bothered with the situation or not concerned, right? All right, so for at this point, any other person want to ask something? You know, I will continue, all right? Okay, so this is good to study. So make sure your mind is always in the middle, not too much on this or not too much on the other, all this indirect enemy. So actually it's not easy because when you have love, it's very easy you attach to somebody. When you feel compassion, so you might you might cry if the person passed away, right? So when you have you maybe gain something good or somebody near next to you having some prosperity, and you might get so excited, you might be very over enthusiastic, right? Okay, so we already finished the definition on this one. This is just a practice in brief, all right? Loving kindness, wishing may all beings be well happy. And then the compassion means may all beings be free from misery and suffering. Rejoicing means may they be continue to be prosperous and happy. All right. Equanimity means impartial attitude that things happen by your own karma. All right. So we finished this one. Now, how do you practice metta? We already finished. How do you practice karuna? It's easy if you practice with beings who are weaker, sicker, and need help. And you want to help them. Okay. Want to help to reduce their suffering by our body, speech, and mind. All right. So I think this is easy to practice if you practice with those weaker beings, you know, like animals. Animals is easy, yeah, because animal depends on us. Like we have how many dogs? At most, we have 8 dogs here, now reduced to about 5 dogs, you know. So the animals depend on us for food. So we have to provide the food for them. And we have 1 cat. The cat, we call it the rooftop because of the dogs. I don't know why, you know, in some of the places, dogs and cat can get along, but our dogs doesn't like the cat. So the cat cannot come down for the food. So the moment it come down, the dogs want to bite the cat. All right. So the cat stay on the rooftop. So we have to bring the food. So I do something. So we leave the plates with the food and leave to the rooftop for the cat to eat. So if we don't feed the cat also will not get food. Right. So it's easier to practice compassion with animals or younger children. Those who, like, you see the child fall down and cry, then you'll feel compassion, want to help them. Or you see somebody being sick, so it's very easy to practice compassion. So mudita is when things are going well. The easiest way to practice mudita is you always sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now do you understand the meaning of sadhu? What's the meaning of sadhu? You all study Pali, right? So what's the meaning of sadhu?
Sadhu Anumodana, we rejoice in others people's success, other people's joy.
Okay, so the meaning sadhu is?
Excellent, great.
Excellent, great. Okay. Good. Sometimes we call it good. Excellent, great. Means at that time when you say excellent, great, you are rejoicing, right? So when you say sadhu, 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 you are rejoicing. So that's the easiest way to practice mudita. all right? But when do you say sadhu? When you see like sharing of marriage, or when you see people coming to give food or donate food, all right? So you say sadhu, means well done or good, all right? So that's a mudita practice. Can you say sadhu to yourself? Can you practice mudita on yourself? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can.
Having self-compassion,
Yeah, you can practice compassion to yourself.
self-love, self-compassion.
So can you self-rejoice? Can or not?
Yes.
Can.
Yes.
Okay, how do you self-rejoice?
For the effort that you put in, now you can see that you appreciate it.
Okay, yes, appreciation, right? So that's why it's good to study Abhidhamma. When we say a wholesome deed is very powerful, when it's surrounded by 3 good periods. So before you do good deeds, you are rejoicing. You means you do it preparation, like you all prepare the food to dana. You need to prepare with a happy mind, right? Not being prompted by people and not with the angry mind, whatever. So with rejoicing mind before donation. So in the middle of like donate, so your mind also for wholesome thoughts. So after donate, you need to rejoice. Okay, you need to happy with your own thoughts, with the own good deeds. So if the good deeds surrounded by 3 periods, so we call it they use the word ukata. Ukata means superior good karma. So if the karma is not surrounded by these 3 good periods, it may be you are not rejoicing before, or you are not rejoicing after, or you are not happy in the middle. So either lack of one. So we call it karma, inferior karma. So inferior karma will not create strong karma. It create a weaker resultant. All right. So when you study Abhidhamma, you will learn this. So I'm doing promotion for my Abhidhamma class. Okay. So
The
we can
Dhamma
rejoice.
joy,
Yeah.
Saji, the Dhamma
Yes.
joy arise.
Okay. Yes, we can rejoice on our good deeds. Because when we say what create karma, when we say what is karma, karma means good thoughts, wholesome thoughts. So when you always have wholesome thoughts, you will have wholesome results, So karma is chetana. Chetana means volition, or how nowadays they translate in another way, they call it motivation. All right. So different translation, but the Pali is chetana. Chetana create the karma. Okay, let me go back to my text. Okay. So we still have few things to discuss. All right, so we already finished on this one. So let me see. Okay, we finished on this one. All right. Okay, now when you chant this one, I think you're all familiar with this one. So this chanting is actually very good because it has the 4 Brahma vihara. Okay, I'll try to show you all the text. Okay. Okay.
Saji, this Saji Agawati, she's very good at this. Wow, very, very good, powerful, very sweet.
Yeah. Her metta is very good. I learned a lot from her. That's why she be able to she be able to look at people eyes to eyes and smile at them. Okay. So sape sata sukita hontu avera hontu apya paja hontu. I'm not good at chanting, okay? Aniga hontu suki atanam pariharantu. So when you recite this one, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 ways of practicing the metta. And when you recite dukkha muchantu, this is practice of compassion. May all beings. What's the meaning of compassion? Compassion means may all beings be free from suffering. Where somebody call me? Wait. Oh. The electrician want to go back already. Okay, so when you recite the Avera Hontu Abhyapaja Hontu Aniga Hontu Sukhi Atanam Pariharantu, then Dukkha Muchantu. This is a practice of compassion, all right? So every time you recite this one, you must feel the compassion coming out. Yada lada sampatito mavigachantu. This is a practice of joy. How you know practice of joy? Means lada. Lada means whatever they have gained, you know. So from the Pali words labati, all right? Labati, all right? Labati means obtain. Whatever you get, whatever you obtain, or somebody with the ta suffix, all right? Whatever they have obtained, mavigachantu. You can see this imperative, okay? May they not be lost. So instead of jealous of what they have, you are not jealous. So you also wish them can protect their things, their properties, not be lost. So there's appreciated joy. And last one, karma saka. This is the practice of equanimity. All beings are the owner of their own karma. Okay, so means whatever good or bad result they experience is due to their own action. So when you recite this one, so bear in mind you are practicing the 4 Brahma vihara. Okay. All right. Any question on this, Chandi? I think you all chant, right? So when I stay in Lunas, we chant this every night, you know. Okay, so when you chant this, of course, you need to know the Pali, little bit Pali, all right? So at least you know Sabbe Sata. What's meaning of Sabbe Sata? May all be Sukita. Sukita, what's meaning of Suki? Sukha, happy, you know. But another meaning of Sukha can be peaceful also, right? Hontu. Hontu is imperative mode, okay? Avera. Vera is enemy, so A means free, free from enemy. So then you first with mental suffering, then physical suffering. Then Sukhi, happily or peacefully. Atana means, here we are not talking about the Atta, we are talking of themselves, all right? Pariyantu, may they take care of themselves. And Dukkha is suffering. Here is ablative, all right? From suffering. Okay. And whatever Yada is a relative here, whatever they get, Sampati. What is Sampati? Sampati means prosperity, all right? Ma, you can see it's a imperative, this is a prohibition, all right? It's a command here, may they not be lost. The last one, Kama Saka, all right? So when you chant this chanting, always remember, you can practice the 4 Brahma Vihara at the same time. So not just chant as a chant. Yes?
Vigachantu is a word from go away.
Ma Vigachantu. We.
Go away. It
Yeah.
not go away.
Yeah, go away or go with a we. We is separate, you know. Okay, not separate, not go away or not be. It means not go away means not be lost.
Not be lost.
I mean,
the prosperity, not be lost. Their gains.
talking literally lah, they will be not.
Yeah. Go away or you want to put whatever. Go away. Yes, we may be away. Go gachantu. All right. So ma we gachantu. At least now you know ma. Ma is a prohibition here. Right. So actually, that's the best way to learn Pali. So how do you all learn the Pali? By just chanting, right? So by you chant this one, then you know all the tu and tu, all this. Oh, you see this all the time. And what is sabbe sata? You know the sata is masculine. All this. That's the best way. You chant. So you learn Pali, you chant. Then when you chanting, you apply your Pali knowledge. So next time when you learn Abhidhamma, you also can see the Pali. Promotion for my Pali class. Okay. So when we finish this one, so okay, so I think we finished. There's some things about here. Maybe we just do some discussion here, right? So later I will go back for samatha practice. So we just go back for this one. All right, now you all heard about this 4-faced Buddha, 四面佛. Do you know what it is?
4 Brahmas. Yeah, 四面佛. Very
Yeah, but
popular.
why the 4 Brahma become 4 Buddha?
Brahma somehow. Brahma.
Brahma. It
It's a
is
Brahma.
a
Then why
Brahma.
they call it 四面佛? You know, 4 is Buddha, right?
That means four-faced Buddha is this Brahma vihara, no?
Yeah, Brahma vihara. But the thing is, why is Buddha here? Yeah, I also ask this question. Okay, why the Brahma vihara become the Buddha? Okay. Electric bubble. Okay, so you can think about that. Another one is animal liberation. You know what's the animal liberation? So previously, I met one of the lady in Malacca. She went to market, and then they saw a big snake. She spent 500 ringgit, buy the snake, bought the snake from the seller, and released into the jungle. Real snake, python, very big, 500 ringgit. So animal liberation. What do you agree is a good or bad? So in Myanmar, I also see a lot of people have the birds, you know, they capture the birds, put in a cage, and then somebody go and buy and release the bird. Or I think in Singapore, there's a lot of animal liberation, especially the Mahana in doing this, right? So do you support it or not support it?
Sometimes, Saigi, this you have to do with mindfulness. For example, like the fish, is it on freshwater fish or is it a saltwater fish? So if you are not aware, not mindful, then it will cause killing. The animal will not live in their own habitat anymore. It's a new one which they cannot adapt. So they will die. Like the birds also in captivity, when you buy and then you release, you find that they cannot fly properly because their wings are weak, they are being caged, you know. So it will cause death. So you have to be wise. So that's why Theravada, they don't encourage this Fongsang one, the animal liberation. They don't encourage, but Mahayana, they do it.
Okay. So actually, all this animal liberation, it also depends on the thoughts at that time, you know, whether the thoughts are really wholesome or after that, first depends on the good thoughts. Then second depends on the skillful, because the skillful means it's like whether can you help the animal in a better place, like just now Smita said. If you release in the wrong place, the animal will die faster. All right. So we have to use our wisdom and also compassion, right? You have compassion for the animal, but you also need to use your wisdom how to help them in a good place. Like just now, the lady, I also surprised, you really heard that they buy a big python, 500 ringgit last time, now maybe very expensive, but release back to the jungle. So is it good? Yes.
Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, because she released back to the natural habitat, right? But if somebody buy a snake and release near your house, so what do you think?
It's so cruel.
So you got shocked, right? Yeah, here because this is a paddy field and now raining season, so I saw a lot of snakes also sometimes walking outside or near the windows. Yeah. So and one time the snake fell down from the ceiling and hit my hand. No, so lucky I didn't. Yeah, it's true. Because when I pull the door, so I don't know the animals were climbing on the door. You know how we call it, the metal door. You know with the one the animal can climb. So the snake were climbing out. So when I opened the door, it fell down and hit my hand. Thank goodness nothing happened to it. I still alive up to this point. Okay. So animal liberation, when you want to do, you need to do it. We call it hopeful. We need to do with the skillful being. Okay. So compassion and wisdom. How about chanting for beings, like just now? So can you chant for animals before they pass away? You know, like you say, you have poor dogs or cat who are going to pass away. When you chant for them, Of course, we say, you all already chant for a human who's going to pass away. But do you chant for dog and cat who are going to pass away? Have you done that? Any of you? No. You all don't have animals in your house, huh?
Saji, send metta, usually they send metta before they pass.
Okay. So can they receive it?
No, no, they don't have the wisdom. They don't have wisdom root.
Okay.
The parami is not there.
Yeah.
They don't have the wisdom root, but do they understand your compassion towards them
Yes.
before they pass away? Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because we have many dogs here, so some of the dogs here, burying the animals is easier than burying human. So when animal pass away, basically we have to dig a hole, just put the animals there and bury them. So we have few dogs. I told you here, this is a paddy field. Sometimes we have snakes around. So of course, not in the summertime or not in the winter, but in the raining season, it's a lot of sometimes snakes. So sometimes the dogs, they wander around. So we have one or dogs who passed away. Before she passed away, she was bitten by snake. And then, of course, she was quivering. One thing about sign of poison or by snake, you can see the body was shaking. So Sayaji asked at that time we had 2 young children, asked them to chant the metta, hold near the dogs, so for the dogs to receive the chanting before the dog passes away. The dog can feel it, yeah, because the dog is intelligent. It also depends on which type of dog. Some of the dogs are intelligent. They can understand your well-being towards them. Some of the dog, like those stray dogs, it also depends which stray dog are. Some of the stray dogs which some are not so intelligent, maybe they cannot receive it, but those highly intelligent dogs, they can feel the metta. So the dogs feel the metta, and then before she passed away, she's very beautiful and she's a very good dog. Yeah, I really like her. Unfortunately, she passed away. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, how about Buddhism in terms of other regions in terms of compassion practice? Is it same or different?
Same.
Same. Right. Yes. Okay. So when we talk with other regions, so we stress on the similarity, right? So if you're going to talk with other people from other region, you talk about whether you have God or you believe in worship the statue or whatever. Because of different region, there always be some contrast in opinion. So it's better stress on something same. Something same means universal. That's why they call it metta is a universal love, because of regardless any race, any region, any sex, people can practice it. Okay, so the love and compassion with other region is same. All right. Okay, now, all right. So let's. Okay, so we finish this one. Finish this one. I already finished this one. Okay. So okay. Let me cover this. All right. So I was looking at this morning, samatha and vipassana. All right. So you all help me. Okay, we are going to study the similarity. So which one is similar with samatha and vipassana? Okay, so please, what is similar here? Means that the practice can be anapanasati. Okay. Okay, anapanasati. So let me highlight. So where's here? This one. Okay, so that means that you can practice as a samatha and you can practice as vipassana. So the things as a samatha, you need to just focus on it, but as a vipassana, you need to see the arising, passing away, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, and what else?
The postures.
Postures?
You guys, patha.
Yeah, but it's
not small movement, because for samatha, the 4 main postures are referring to the sitting, standing, walking, and lying down.
yeah,
Whereas for
that's 4 main
vipassana,
posture.
vipassana, you have some movements. So that is the slight difference.
Okay, but can you find here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, it's not here, but yeah, it's a you say it's a good point here. But there is a posture, you know. Yeah, there's a posture here. Okay. Now what is the next one? Quite same. You can practice as a vipassana and samatha. Which practice?
The
great
great
elements.
Yeah, the elements. Four
Yeah,
great
for great
elements.
element. Okay. So let's try that another. So where is this one? Okay, next one.
9 stage of ops. Asubha.
Okay. Now here is 10. So here is a 9. Okay. So here, samatha means you get one stage and you develop concentration on that until you get jhana. Here is trying to see the impermanence, the corpse from one stage to another one. All right. So next one.
The body, mindfulness on the body.
Okay.
Vipassana is kaya nupasaha. Yes.
Okay. So any more?
For samatha, vipassana, they also contemplate on the feelings.
All right. Samatha also got feeling. All right. Okay. Yeah, but
most
it's
of
not
the-
here. It's not here.
Yeah, it's not there.
It's not
Yes.
here.
But
Okay.
actually, yes, you
Yeah, but when you notice the feeling, because the feeling is always impermanent, the feeling arises very fast. All right. Okay. So I think okay, kasina. All right. So you know 10 kasina. What is PATV? I think some of you remember. I give you the shortcut before.
Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu.
All right. Yes. Earth, water, wind, fire, and wind. So
And
patavi, apo, tejo, vayu. And what is this color?
Blue, red, yellow, white.
yellow, white.
Okay. What is the last
Light.
two?
Space. Light. Space.
Right. Space.
Light
Okay.
and space.
All right. So this one I will not go through. All right. So anyway, 10 stages. Anusati, all right? So anusati is a lead correction, all right? But actually it's kind of like thoughts. It's like wholesome thought. You think about the Buddha, quality, Dhamma, Sangha. Sila means morality. Chaga means your generosity. Devata, here is not think about Deva. It's like, because how they become a Deva, because they are doing good deeds. So you are thinking your own good deeds, taking the Deva as example, right? Not to say you just contemplate on Deva. There's no point. We are not Deva worship here, right? So Marana Nusati means contemplate on the dead. Okay, now there's one similar point here. All right, so I think you all haven't find. Okay, can you tell me? I want to test your knowledge. There's still one which is similar.
Ahari.
Samatha,
Ahari.
Aharian, no.
Upaika.
Okay, Upeka, right? You can find here. And where can you find? In this Vipassana side.
Dhammanupassana.
No.
No, Vedana.
Yeah, sorry.
Neutral.
Dhammanupassana
Yes.
in where?
Bujanga,
The
Bujanga.
Bojanga.
Yes, in the
Seven
Bojanga,
factors of
right? So
enlightenment.
yes.
The
So,
7 factor of enlightenment.
so you can find here, Upeka, right? Okay. So you have the Upeka here.
Sayaji, actually the Brahma Vihara, it is in
Samatha.
samatha as well as vipassana, because we also need to practice metta, karuna, mudita in vipassana. Is it
No.
See that?
Metta, Karuna, Mudita is a samatha. So after your mind calm down, then you change to vipassana. All right. What is samatha here? Samatha here, if you want to do vipassana with the samatha is kind of like, we call it a foundation practice. So
Yes.
some people, they find it's very difficult for the mind to calm down, right or not? So the moment they ask them to meditate, they find the mind is wandering around the place or wasting the time. So they need to calm down the mind. So they need to take one of the samatha practice. Either you do anapanasati. But if you are going to use anapanasati as vipassana, now you also need to do vipassana. So your mind feel bored. So it's good you change the object. So at first you do metta or karuna or mudita until your mind calm down. Then you change to anapanasati.
Okay.
So it's much
So
more
you do-
logic to change your meditation. Then your
Alright.
mind don't get confused. You know, oh, okay, metta is a samatha. as a basis. Then anapanasati, contemplate the breathing, is a vipassana. Okay? So it's good to do metta, because if the mind is like wandering non-stop and then you feel very tired and your mind is not interested, so might as well, why do we practice metta? Because metta gives you some quality of happiness, joy.
Yes.
Yeah. And vipassana will not give you joy. Why? Because vipassana, you need to see arising, passing, arising, passing, arising. You only see things changing all the time. Sometimes the mind are not interested to see all these impermanence. No, the moment the mind say, "Oh, that one also passed away, that one passed away." So for those who practice vipassana, when they go to higher stage, they see a lot of arising, passing away. Then their mind feel very bored. But this kind of bored is spiritual boredom. It's not the worldly boredom. All right. Okay, so we go back to the topic just now. So now you know for Brahma Vihara, Metta, Karuna, Mudita is a samatha practice. Okay, and Upekha can be samatha and also vipassana. But to reach Upekha, you also must start with the Metta, Karuna, Mudita. Right? But in terms of Dhammanupassana, when we say in terms of Bojjhanga, means that you see arising, passing away, you see everything arising, passing away until your mind becomes equanimous. Then it's the real Upekha here. Okay? So I think this one I already covered the topic here. So I think the rest we cover already. Okay, so let's go back and review here. All right. Now, bhavana is meditation, mental cultivation, right? So in Buddha's teaching, you summarize is avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. So it's like do good, reduce unwholesome, purify the mind. So you can practice metta anytime, any place. So you need to practice meditation because it's three factors of noble effort: sama, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi. All right, so before meditation, you need to have the right view. So that's why this teaching here is actually for you to have a right view. Because if you do not have right view, right thought, then you are not doing in a smart way. All right, so then you can activate your wisdom group. Then when your wisdom is sharp, you reduce your ignorance, delusion. So instead of practicing so hard, you might as well practicing smart. With the wisdom, your mind will be sharper, smoother. Right? So now that's why here we study. Instead of hard, we also practice smart also. Then you need to have few knowledge. One is this one, Pali, Sutta Mayayana, right? Knowledge by listening to Dhamma, and then knowledge by thinking. Now, after you listen to Dhamma like this, now you can think. Then after you meditate, Bhavana Maya Maya, right? So that's why in the Eightfold Path, we need to have the knowledge, mundane knowledge. After that, you practice your Sila Samadhi Panya, okay? Okay, now we already finished this one. So next week, what you want to do? Exam. So what do you want to do? Do you want me to stop the class or you want me to give you exam? So what do you want to do next week?
Sayagyi, can I request for the 10 Mara Amis?
10 Mara Amis.
Yeah.
10 Mara Amis. We mean the what, the Vipassana, Upasakulisa or what?
That means the evil, the sensual desire, how do we eradicate
Okay.
all this?
Oh, yeah. Have you read the Pandita, the path of what? Freedom? He described in detail there, right? 10 Mara and yeah. Okay.
He does. It's just that some of it is a bit deep lah. So cannot really capture everything. So maybe through some explanation.
All right. Okay. I need to do some research. So it's good for me lah, because I feel bored. But I like to give you all a small test. As I mentioned to you all, next week maybe we just spend 1 hour. So I will put the question like the Pali, but it's very easy. So I don't want you to have stress. So it's questionnaire, you choose either 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of one question, you choose A, B, C, D. One question, A, B, C, D. All right. Okay. So we do it 1 hour before we go for this 10 departments. I hope you all join in. Okay. Next session. All right. So I will either pass the question on WhatsApp, but I don't think I got space to show on the screen. All right. It's maybe 20 questions and maybe 5 minutes, write something, short assignment. Okay, very short, maybe your view or like just now, all the animal liberation or the 4 Brahma vihara, something like that. Just a quick test. So I want to see how much you really understand. Okay. So please don't run away. Because in my university, the moment the teacher say, next week got test, the class reduced by half. Okay. All right. So after that, we will continue 10, 1.
So, Saji, can I clarify one thing here?
Mm-hmm.
Can you clarify one thing?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
during Buddha's time, there was this samatha, but was there mindfulness, not awareness, meditation?
Samatha,
No, no,
during samatha,
no, vipassana, no, I mean awareness, like awareness of present moment. All that.
in samatha.
Was there? No, no, in during Buddha's time, lah. During the
Yeah, of
time of
course.
Buddha,
Yes, Buddha also practiced samatha.
awareness, no.
Yes, awareness. What's the meaning of awareness? Sati, right?
Sati.
Okay, what is the meaning of awareness? Okay, so basically, if somebody tells you sati, somebody tells you awareness. So can you tell me what is awareness? Awareness means
Awareness,
no,
pay attention to the
no,
present moment, lah.
no. Very simple. You know the object.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I
Right.
know.
So when they practice on breathing meditation, what's the meaning of practicing on breathing? It means that they know the breathing, whether in or out, in and out. So yes, when they practice metta, they also have the awareness. Yes, Buddha also practiced samatha. Buddha also taught the disciple. If you look at how did the Buddha guide his own son Rahula, he also talking about like metta practice there. Okay. So that's why if you cannot progress much in vipassana, you can change to samatha. Yeah, because Buddha did teach all this practice. If not, why it appear in the Visuddhimagga, right? So the method is there because it's helpful for us. So out of the just now with so many methods, you can see you can choose whatever method that you should be able to practice. Or minimally, if you cannot receive some guidance from teacher, at least there are books like Visuddhimagga, Path to Purification, you can read. Visuddhimagga is a very good book, 500 pages. It's very, we call it the meditation handbook guideline. It's very good for all the meditators who want to read. Okay, I think we stop here. So next week we have a small test. So you just prepare one paper, okay? Then I write, for example, question 1, you write A. Question B, question 2, you write C. Question 3, you write D. Just a short answer, A, B, C, D. Okay, just one piece or two piece.